Monday, October 6th. It is another beautiful day out here. And we got ourselves a banger in terms of the MLB playoffs, man. It has been a beautiful MLB playoffs for myself. As a Brewers fan, 9-3 win against the Cubs in game one. And we had an awesome NFL Sunday yesterday. I don't know if y'all were tapped in on the WAP. If you're not on the WAP yet, make sure you join wap.com/RudeBets. Use code RUDE for 25% off any package. But let me show y'all what we did, man. Let me show y'all what we did. First of all, we had a lot of wins in the chat. A lot of people posting wins, but this was my play that I posted, and I'm proud of. I want to share that with y'all. Look at this banger, man. Look at this banger. Right? I mean, come on now. We hit the plus 26.77. I posted this way early in the week, too. This wasn't even posted on Sunday. I just used the model, right? I'll show you exactly how I built this slip. I will show y'all exactly how I built this slip.
I'll try to resolve a second cage here.
1 sec. Sorry, y'all.
And cast.
All right. So this is exactly how we built the slip. We went to the NFL model right here. Went to the projection dashboard, which is already default sorted by touchdowns for the position players. So it was pretty simple. I just went and looked at running backs. I was like, okay, what running backs look like they have a good shot to score this week? Well, Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery, they both have the highest chance to score a touchdown this week. Well, I mean, let me let you in on a little secret. Both scored this week. I went with Jahmyr Gibbs, just obviously the safer option. Much more volume, more opportunities. He scored. Then I looked down the list. I was like, okay, Raheem Sanders, that's a outlier data point, doesn't count. Derrick Henry, he's been struggling. The Ravens are trash, not going to touch him. Next guy up would have been Jonathan Taylor or Quinshon Judkins. Both had great weeks. Jonathan Taylor had 3 touchdowns, so we added him as the running back. The next thought process was, let's add some juice to this. So we looked at some wide receivers. Amon-Ra St. Brown. Well, we already have Jahmyr Gibbs, so I'm not going to take him. Who's next on the list? Ibuka. Okay, let's add Ibuka on the list. Boom, done. Touchdown. What about Jamar Chase? He also is projected to score. We didn't take him, but boom, done. He scored a touchdown. Who's next on the list? Nico Collins. Well, we did take him, actually. Boom, touchdown. Who's next on the list? T. Higgins. We didn't take him. Well, we should have. Boom, touchdown. And after that, Garrett Wilson. So all 6 wide receivers, actually, I want to post this. This is actually insane. This is actually insane. I didn't even realize this until right now as I'm going through it. But our wide receiver anytime touchdown predictions, of this top 10, we had Amon-Ra score. Amon-Ra didn't score. But Ibuka did, Jamar Chase did, Nico Collins did, T. Higgins did, Garrett Wilson did, Jordan Addison did. I don't think Johnston did. Jefferson might have. Did Jefferson score a touchdown? I don't know, actually. Maybe he didn't. I don't think he did. But still, that would have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of the 10 touchdown projections, the top 10 guys, 6 out of 10 scored. So pretty much you could have taken most of the guys on the list and gotten away with a touchdown lotto, which we did. That was an insane hit. If you haven't joined the WAP yet, come join. I posted that play. You could have taken it just by looking at the simulator yourself as well. And we had somebody who actually added on a leg to this. They added Kyler Murray anytime touchdown. Not sure why they went that route, but they did. Plus 7,800. Was Kyler Murray even projected high to score a touchdown? I'm actually not sure. I'm actually not entirely sure. But let's see. Let's find out. Rush touchdowns. I guess he was 4th here, 0.46, so it wasn't bad. If we look at that game, maybe he was the highest projected score in that game. Maybe someone's like, I want to take a touchdown in the Titans-Cardinals game. Let's see how that went. Highest touchdown here would have been Harrison at 0.48, and then, Kyler at 0.46, and Michael Carter at 0.49. So, pretty similar. I mean, he was pretty high projected there. So that was an insane hit by that guy using the model here. That was an insane hit to add on Kyler Murray there. So, good on him. Plus 78. That's insane. But anyways, let's jump into MLB. We got 2 games today. Nothing actually that crazy. But we do got my brew crew. We do have my Brewers playing tonight. I'm very excited for that. A little nervous. We're gonna look at some research on the status of one of the main guys. But let me go ahead and look at it. Dodgers Phillies here. Let's go ahead and dive in. Dodgers Phillies. Dodgers, Phillies. Minus 130 to the Dodgers. I mean, we have the I like the Dodgers tonight, man. I mean, Phillies blew it in game one. If we're being honest, the Phillies completely fell apart in game one. They're up 3-0 pretty much the entire game. They let them back in with 2 runs. Then they can't capitalize and get any more support, and then Teoscar opens it up with a 3-run homer. So, yeah, man. Blake Snell going up against Luzardo. I like the Dodgers to win this one. I think this series could be a sweep. I wouldn't have said that 2 weeks ago. I would not have said that 2 weeks ago, but just looking at the way this is coming around, it's looking like it could be a sweep. Blake Snell for K's, I think he gets about 7. Looking at his numbers here, 28% strikeout rate. Projected to go pretty deep into the game. 17 outs. A lot of outs. About 6 innings almost. Not really giving up too many runs here. His home run rate on the year, I mean, you saw it right there. He's only giving up a home run to 1% of batters, so Snell's not giving up homers. So as long as he can kind of navigate Schwarber, only a 13% chance to hit a home run. I mean, yeah, I think you got to ride. I'm going to ride with the Dodgers tonight. Looking at these player props. Oof. Shohei Ohtani, 18% chance to hit a homer. See if he has any history here. 1 for 10 versus Luzardo with a home run, but not great matchup data here for him. If we look at his last 5 at bats or balls in play, I should say. What did Shohei do in game 1? Did he do nothing? Like, did he not even put a ball in? Did he strike out and walk the whole time? Let me see this. Ohtani went, 0 for 4. Wow. 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts. So Ohtani, definitely due for a bounce back there. Oh my gosh. Did not realize that. So Shohei went 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts. That's tough. He did pitch. I know. He did pitch. I don't mind him in this matchup, honestly, against Luzardo. Pitch mix is neutral, 5.26 out of 10. He does beat him pretty handily on this fastball here. So Shohei does have a pretty good advantage here on the fastball. When does the Yankees roast session start? Well, I don't know, man. I feel like everybody in the world, unless you're a Yankees fan, you are extremely happy to see how that series has gone. You are very happy to see how that's gone, unless you're a Yankees fan. He doesn't do well here in Philly. That's subjective. I mean, I don't put too much weight on like if he does well in a ballpark or not. It's more about against the pitcher, which in this case, he doesn't do well against Luzardo. He does not do well against Luzardo. But I still think he's in a decent spot today. The thing here that kind of stands out to me, really good home run weather. There's really good home run weather here. 20% home run weather is insane. Luzardo does give up a home run to 2% of batters this year. That's still really good. League average for lefties is 3%. So neither of these pitchers are meatball throwers, honestly. Neither of these pitchers are really throwing a lot of meatballs. Weather here is great today. Yeah, it looks like it. 20% boost. 20% boost. But Shohei's numbers versus lefties this year are pretty solid. 2 total bases per hit. So, I mean, Shohei's definitely in play. Teoscar's on an absolute run right now. I mean, the guy took off the whole regular season, basically. I think Teoscar cost me the last leg of home run plays 3 times this year. 3 times Teoscar was the last leg of a 3 or a 4-leg homer play, and he burned me. And now all of a sudden the playoffs start, and Teoscar decides he's going to hit a home run every single game. He's going to hit 15 home runs this offseason or this postseason. I don't know. Ozora, you like the Snell over 16.5 pitching outs? I do too. If everything goes right for Snell, I think 16.5 pitching outs. Yeah, he probably gets through that. But it is the playoffs. I mean, you saw what happened in Game 1, Brewers-Cubs, for example. Matthew Boyd gets pulled in the first inning at 30 pitches. Like, that happens. Like, if Snell starts getting hit around, they're not going to give him a long leash. Didn't I have the Texans beating the Ravens? I don't remember if you said that or not. I did. Not by 40 points, but I did have right here, Texans by 2.5. I did have the Texans beating the Ravens there. But anyways, Yeah, I mean, this one, what's the total runs in this game? 7.5. Ooh, okay. Okay, 7.5 total runs here. Two good pitchers. Might be a bit tough. I mean, we only have Snell giving up about 2 runs, and then Luzardo giving up maybe 3. So it could be 2 to 3 around the 5th inning, 6th inning here. That leaves you with a couple innings to get 3 runs. I mean, bullpens would have to collapse a little bit there, so that's a bit sketchy. KC by 21 tonight? Good, I hope so. I hope so. Although I'm a little afraid that's gonna be a low-scoring game. We'll get into that. But yeah, Dodgers Phillies. I'm gonna be riding with the Dodgers tonight. I think it's a good value play. I do think the Dodgers money line is a good value play. And then Snell strikeouts. I mean, his line's 7.5. That's just too much for me. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. A lot of people are picking the Jags. I mean, based on how this weekend's gone, I can understand why. You might be going to the game tonight. That's pretty sick. I would love to go. Tickets around $250. Oof. Hopefully you get a decent seat for that price. But yeah, I think today batter hits is probably where you're going to want to focus if you are on player props. Freddie Freeman looks decent. Mookie, Shohei. Teoscar, if you want to just ride the tear. I mean, let's look at his last 5 at bats. It's probably crazy. Last 5 balls in play for Teoscar. Actually, let's look at last 10. Last 10, home run, home run, home run. It's actually pretty much just the home runs that he hit the ball well. All the other ones kind of suck. This double here is pretty decent too, but it's either he hits a home run or he hits some like really soft contact. So I just can't trust that. I don't love that. I can't ride with Teoscar tonight. I'm sorry. I know he's great against lefties for power, but his inconsistency, he is hot right now, but his inconsistency on the year is just a little sketchy. A little sketchy for me, personally. Fernando, I appreciate the follow on TikTok. Thank you very much. I appreciate all the likes too, y'all. Whoever's liking up the TikTok, I appreciate it. But yeah, on the Phillies, Trey Turner kind of stands out a little bit here. He's 1 for 5 versus Snell, and that adds up with the pitch mix here. He doesn't look like he has a good matchup against him. But against lefties on the year, 323 batting average, not bad. Not bad. So Trey Turner to get a hit could be a decent play there. Corver, Harper, Bohm, all actually look okay to get a hit tonight, but yeah, it's a bit tough. What's up, W Hunter? It's a bit tough. I mean, player props in general in the playoffs, man. I mean, just a bit sketchy. Yeah. The main batter here in this game that I'd really want to take anything on would be Shohei, but yeah, overall, I think Dodgers to win this game is looking pretty good. You have Ohtani, Harper, Castellanos, Real Muto for a hit, and Snell for 5 strikeouts. Ohtani I like. Harper and Castellanos. Harper I'm okay with. Castellanos I'm a little bit sketched out on. That pitch mix is ugly. Real Muto, same thing. Real Muto is pretty bad against lefties. Only 213 average. Wow. What's Real Muto's splits versus lefties looking like? Last 10? Yeah, not a great 2 for his last 10. Snell for 7? Yeah, I think Snell looks decent. Why Turner? Really just his batting average versus lefties. His numbers versus lefties this year, I mean, not bad. Although we don't have any data for him in his last 20 batted balls. I guess he doesn't have he doesn't have a batted ball in the last 30 days against a lefty, maybe. Might be it, but on the year, 323 and 189 at bats, 1.43 total bases per hit. So he's a singles merchant. He really is. He was hurt? Yeah, that's right. He's a singles merchant against lefties, but he does well against lefties. Only problem is against Snell, he's not great. 1 for 5. And this pitch mix, I mean, unless he gets a fastball or a slider, those are really the only 2 pitches that he does well against compared to Snell. Changeup, not great. Curveball, really bad. So, yeah. Not a huge fan of that. Now, this one's kind of depressing to me. Tommy Edman, I don't know if any of y'all were here last year or remember last year, but Tommy Edman against... I'm not going to fall for that, Andy Gerd. I don't know what the hell I don't know what you're trying to do there. Last year, Tommy Edman versus lefties was, he was, especially in the playoffs, he was hitting a double or a home run every at bat against a lefty. No, it was on Austin. It was on Twitch. Somebody had a comment on Twitch. Yeah, Tommy Edman, even still this year, his batting average is terrible against lefties, but 2.04 total bases per hit is still crazy. His power versus lefties is still insane. Even last 20 batted balls, 93 exit velo, 58% hard hit rate. He hasn't gotten any fly balls going. It's just a lot of grounders. Even last five, man, he crushes the ball versus lefties. Tommy Edman really does. But can't say that I'm feeling him this year. It's just not the same. It is just not the same. And yeah, Phillies, I mean, Harper, Schwarber, they're all right today. They're not bad to get a hit. But overall, just a little sketched. Let's get into the Brewers real quick. Cubs-Brewers. Let's see if there's anything else here. This could be a good one. This could be a good one, too. Brewers with a 56% chance to win. I like that. Minus 130 is the line. That's pretty much exactly what the line is. I mean, pretty similar, about 1% more. Line probably has them at around 57% chance to win, so pretty in line there. Aaron Ashby opening for the Brewers. Shota Imanaga for the Cubs. Brewers have historically been doing pretty well against Imanaga, especially this year. Contreras, 3 for 10 with 2 homers. He did have 2 homers in the same game against him earlier this year. Here's the big question mark for me for the Brewers tonight. This is kind of going to determine a lot for me. Is Jackson Chourio. What is the status of my King Jackson Chourio? We need to figure this out. Successfully donated. Okay. Jackson Chourio is testing out the hamstring. All right, let's see what we got here. Little fake swing, a little jog out of the box. It's a bit leisurely. He kind of looks like Giancarlo Stanton there. I'm not going to lie. I'm not too happy. I don't love that. I mean, he looks all right, right? He looks all right, chat. He looks all right. Doesn't look like he's in pain. Is there any update on if he's playing or not, though? That's all I want to know. Yeah, this is what's throwing me off right here. Pat Murphy was like, "Oh yeah, it's devastating potentially," and Jackson Chourio was like, "I feel good." So which one is it? We don't know which one is it. That's what I want to know. Because if it is he's playing tonight, I mean, tell you what, there's not a better batter on the board. There is not a single better batter on the board. Yeah, Chourio. God, I hope he plays. He hit 343 versus lefties this year. 343 versus lefties. Against the pitch mix that Imanaga throws, I mean, that fastball's pretty even, but that splitter, I mean, Chourio has dominated splitters this year. So, yeah, exactly. That's the problem, Sergio, is there's 2 different reports. The player says he's fine. The coach is like, it might be the end of the world. We don't know. So once that report comes out, I mean, if Chourio's locked into the lineup tonight, I am very high on Chourio having a good day. Look at these numbers versus lefties. Last 20 batted balls, 94 exit velo, 53% hard hit rate, 15% barrel, a double, a single, a home run, a single. Especially look at the last 5 here. Double, single, home run, single. 4 out of his last 5 batted balls versus a lefty resulted in a non-out. He had a line drive out too, but other than that, yeah. This pitch mix rating, especially against that splitter, 31% of Imanaga's pitches are a splitter too, and Chourio's dominated the splitter this year. So I really hope he plays. He's by far, in my opinion, the best batter on the board across both games tonight. So be on the lookout tonight, chat. Make sure you guys are looking for an update on let's see if Underdog posts anything on Chourio. No. Only things from Underdog is last night, so we have nothing yet, but look out for Jackson Chourio tonight. Follow that status update. Outside of that, I mean, Terang also surprisingly very good versus lefties. Historically, Terang's awful against lefties. I mean, you can see it probably here built into his numbers against Imanaga, 1 for 9. A lot of that's probably built up from the last couple of years. I mean, if we're being honest, but Turang this year somehow hit 305 versus lefties. I'm pretty sure last year he was in the 100s. Last year he was probably hitting like 190 against lefties, if I had to guess. But this year he's up to 305. Something clicked. He's a singles merchant against him. He's not hitting him for power. 1.28 total bases per hit. If we look at left-handed pitching here, last 20, oh my God, still 95 exit velo, 56% hard hit rate. Yeah, he's crushing the ball against lefties. 60% hard hit rate in the last 10. So Turang to get a hit tonight too looks pretty good, especially if Churrio's out. He probably, I mean, maybe they put Durbin up top. I'm not sure. I'm trying to think who they would have lead off if Churrio's out. Could be Durbin maybe. Maybe Turang even though. It'd be interesting. I'm not sure what they'll do. If Churrio's out, it's going to be really interesting to see who they have lead off. Maybe, you know what? It might even be like Brandon Lockridge. There's a chance. But I love Turang today for a hit too. Vaughn, Frelick, both also really good against lefties this year. 301, 313 batting averages. Frelick with a good pitch mix against Imanaga. His numbers against him, we don't really have any data on it. Imanaga under 3 Ks. I don't know about that. I have him going for 3.83, so I think that's a tight line. Brewers, great strikeout rate. Only strike out 7.81 times per game. Would you take Turang or Churrio? Well, if Churrio's playing, he's my favorite batter on the board tonight. And I don't think that they'll put him out there if he's not fully healthy. The Brewers are really conservative with injuries. The Brewers are probably the most conservative team with injuries that I've seen all year. Like, if a guy's like not feeling like 100%, generally they sit him. I don't know what they're going to do in the playoffs for that. My guess is especially with it being Churrio, they're probably going to be more conservative. He's way too important to the team to go risk of a further injury. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe he DHs tonight and they move Yelich out to the outfield. But we'll see. Imanaga, though, he doesn't kind of come off as a huge strikeout guy tonight, that's for sure. Ashby, he's only going to pitch probably 2 innings. He's going to give him 2 solid innings. Ashby kind of concerns me. He's a bit hit or miss. This is going to set the tone for who's going to win this game, in my opinion. If Ashby, oh God, it does scare me. It does scare me that Ashby's opening. He's so hit or miss, man. He is so hit or miss. If Ashby's stuff is on, he's elite. But he also has command issues and can walk a ton of guys. What's his walk rate this year? 8.89. So, okay, it's not terrible. Not that bad. His home run rate's great. Strikeout rate's really good. Hits rate's decent. It's the walks that he has to manage. But overall, he's been pretty solid, man. He's been pretty solid. His stuff is really good, especially if he can locate that curveball. Guys who do well against lefties, I mean, for this, like, here's the thing. I mean, Ashby's really only going to be in there to face the first few guys. He's not going to see, I mean, he might see PCA and then come out. I wouldn't be surprised if they take him all the way to PCA and then pull him after PCA. That's probably what's going to happen. So, unless they put PCA at 9, I mean, that might be a good move by Counsell. If I'm Craig Counsell, you probably know that they're playing the matchup to get to PCA and just not let him see a righty. So, I'd probably, if I was Counsell, I'd put PCA 9 and just let everybody else get in a bat against Ashby and see what happens there. And then force Ashby to go another inning, maybe 3 innings. That's probably what I would do if I was Counsell. He's the worst by far against lefties. 188 batting average. Like, look at these numbers, man. It's total. He does hit home runs against them, but that's about it. He doesn't really get on base. Strikes out 32% of the time. Pretty insane. So that might be what's going to happen there. But I do like the Crew to win this game. I'm guessing it's going to be low scoring. I don't see the Brewers coming out and putting up 9 runs again. I do not see the Brewers putting up 9 runs again. So yeah. But it does look like they're probably going to hand the ball off to Quinn Priester after this, which is a great sign for the Brewers. He's been great for them this year. So if Ashby can hold it down, Brewers get a couple early runs on Imanaga. Yeah, I like the Brew Crew. Especially even first 5 for the Brew Crew could be solid too. You guys are into the first half stuff, the first 5. Let's see. First 5 Brew Crew, -118. Yeah, I don't mind that. But probably a low-scoring game here. I wouldn't expect a ton. Churrio's my number 1 guy for a home run today. We go to that leaderboard and we look at it. Yeah, Churio's number 1 for a homer. Ohtani's number 2. That's kind of it. I mean, after that, there's a pretty big drop-off. I wouldn't be taking guys for home runs at 12%. Really wouldn't. But let's see what a Churio home run even is. Do they even have lines for the guy? They got some lines for him. Everywhere except FanDuel and DraftKings. So, yeah, I mean, Churio for a homer today could be solid. I like it. Pending his hamstring. Pending that hamstring. Ohtani and Vaughn. Yeah, Ohtani's not bad. Ohtani's not bad. Vaughn could be interesting. Vaughn just hasn't hit a home run in so long. Which some of you guys might argue that means he's due, but he hasn't hit a home run in so long that I'm just not sure he's swinging for that anymore. He's 3 for 7 versus Imanaga. That's a pretty good batting average. 3 for 7 is great. Versus lefties here, 92 exit velo in the last 20, 93 exit velo in the last 10. 20% barrel rate's pretty good. He did almost have one, but those are a little bit old. September 21st and September 24th. But I do like Vaughn today overall, 313 versus lefties. My only issue is the pitch mix does look a little bit tough. Mainly, Vaughn's been not good against the splitter, and that's the secondary pitch for Imanaga. So, that's why the pitch mix rating is going to be so low, is he really struggles against the splitter. But the four seam, yeah, he does pretty well against the four. He's still negative runs above average against the four seam, but so is Imanaga. But yeah, I mean, I like him generally. Like, to get a hit tonight, I think Andrew Vaughn gets on base. And then strikeouts, Luzardo said no one has a good matchup tonight. This is the problem. Last night in the AL, if you looked at the AL matchups, a lot of those AL teams, 3 out of the 4 AL teams are top 5 in strikeout rate offensively. They strike out a ton. Yankees strike out a ton. Everyone except the Blue Jays. Mariners strike out a ton. Tigers strike out a ton. On the NL side, though, Cubs, Brewers, they don't strike out at all. And then the Dodgers and the Phillies are both bottom half. About bottom half for strikeouts. So I don't really love pitcher strikeouts tonight, personally. So yeah. But yeah, number 1 overall batter tonight, man. You can see it right here. Jackson Chourio, if he plays. So that's the one thing. If you're taking anything away from this stream, it is make sure you guys are keeping an eye on the Jackson Chourio news. And if he's playing, I feel like he's the best batter on the board tonight. He is the best batter on the board tonight. So, Snell's 9 strikeouts and the Phillies get the win. Wow. Interesting. I personally like the Dodgers and the Brewers tonight, but Dodgers bullpen does give me a little bit of concern. Just a little bit, though. They've been good, so. But they do give me a little bit of concern. And then, that's about it for baseball, man. That's about it for the 2 games tonight. I think we went over a good amount of stuff there in terms of players in the games. For Monday Night Football, we'll quickly run through this. What a weird week in the NFL. I posted a tweet on this, right? We had 3 massive upsets based on the line. Rams minus 450 on Thursday lost. Cardinals minus 425 lost. And the Bills minus 450 lost. If you do the math on the implied probabilities here, there's only a 0.63% chance that all 3 of those teams would lose this week. Less than a 1% chance that all 3 of those teams would lose based on these implied odds, which is insane that happened. And that wasn't it. I mean, across the board, there were a ton of teams that were favorites that lost. So it was a huge week for the Dogs. Very weird weekend in the NFL. Very weird weekend. Yeah, it was pretty interesting to see kind of what played out there. Overall, I mean, it brings the model update for those of you guys who care about the MLB model. This is or the NFL model. This is where we're at on the stats. 61% win rate against the spread on the year so far, and we're at 65% win rate straight up. So that did go down this week with a lot of those crazy upsets. Obviously, we had a lot more losses this week than previous weeks because this week in the NFL, some crazy favorites lost, and a lot of them did. Still profitable, 65% win rate. The break even, if you were to take every single one of these games on their line, is still 62%, so still 3% profitable. Win rate still really good for the spread, so ATS is really what matters anyway. against the spread's the main thing that most people are taking, and it's extremely profitable on the model. So if you guys haven't joined yet and gotten access to the model, do so. But here's the Monday night game. We're looking at Kansas City, Jacksonville. Currently, I have Kansas City winning by about 4 points. Jacksonville's been surprisingly good this year record-wise. I don't know that they're for real yet. I'm not sold on them. They've had a lot of tight wins, a lot of tight games, a lot of low-scoring tight games. I do like the Kansas City Chiefs to win this game. I think it's low-scoring, though. I look at the line. I see a 44.5 total. I don't know that it gets there. I'm not convinced that the Jags' offense is going to be able to hold up enough points, and the Chiefs' offense, I mean, they're not impressive. The Chiefs' offense hasn't been scoring a ton of points. I mean, they did against the Ravens, they did, but who hasn't scored a ton of points against the Ravens this year? You know what I mean? Who hasn't put up 30+ against the Ravens? Everyone has. So I do like this one to be probably pretty low scoring. I do think this one goes under that total. Chiefs to win, and if we look at the player props, I mean, I could see Travis Etienne going crazy tonight. I could see Etienne going pretty crazy. Not really from a touchdown perspective, but yardage. Etienne actually is the number one projected yardage player on rushing for the entire weekend. If you look at this Chiefs defense, rush yards allowed versus the league average, week 1 they had a good running offense. Then week 2 they allowed 110%, week 3 115%, week 4 up to 130. So they're trending in the wrong direction on run defense. Meanwhile, their air yards is kind of back and forth. Bad air yards, good air yards. Bad air yards, good air yards. So their pass defense is a bit hit or miss. But their rush defense is trending bad. Trending bad. Tie game, yeah. Another tie on Monday night would be funny. But I do think Etienne could put up 100 yards rushing tonight. I could see it. So I think there's a lot of value on Etienne rushing. I really do. Outside of that, I mean, looking at touchdowns, kind of rough. And that kind of goes down with what I think about a low-scoring game. I mean, 0.37, 0.35, 0.23, 0.32. Nobody with like a crazy high probability to score a touchdown. Like, obviously somebody's going to score a touchdown, but nobody's got like these crazy 1.2 touchdowns. You know what I mean? It's not like that. You have him and Worthy for 60+. I got Worthy going for about 46, 47 yards. I mean, he could go for more. If he gets one of those deep balls, yeah, that's what you want to see. Let's look at his air yards here. Air yard share, Worthy, I mean, I guess in his return in week 4, he did have a lot of the air yard share and a good target share of 23%. So those are pretty good numbers. You want to see that air yard share high if you're going for long yards. So, yeah, Jags do let air yards go. You can see right here. 10% more, 36% more, 27% more, and 33% more. So, yeah. And their run defense is really good. So, kind of lines up. I mean, the only issue is it's not like the Chiefs have this dominant running game anyway. But, yeah, it should be a pretty big air yards opportunity game. So, I could see some of these Chiefs wide receivers going crazy on some deep balls if they can connect. But, yeah, a guy like Worthy, a guy like Hollywood Brown. Only problem is I don't see the target numbers for a guy like Worthy are just, maybe they go up, but interesting. But yeah, LeQuint for a touchdown, I got none for that. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of the breakdown here. I mean, you target the Jags offense for running yards, you target the Chiefs offense for passing. I mean, that's kind of what it looks like tonight, and I think overall probably a pretty low-scoring game. We'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it ends up being a shootout, but especially if the Jags aren't going to be moving the ball through the air, it probably is going to eat some clock. Realistically, the Jags, if they're running the ball a lot, if Etienne's doing well on the ground, that looks like it might eat some clock. But then on the other side, if the Xavier Worthies of the world are getting these 40-yard receptions, those would be quick possessions, quick scores. So, yeah, it's an interesting game. I'm not too in love with it overall, especially with how this weekend played out. We had a lot of weird matchups. This feels like another weird matchup. So I probably I'm probably going to be on the Chiefs to win the game, and probably on maybe the under. Maybe the under. So, KC by 21, Brian says. Well, that would help my Chiefs to win play. That would help the Chiefs to win play that I'm going to end up taking. So, yeah, we'll see. I hope so. That would probably hurt the under, though. Unless the Jags don't put up any points. If it's like 24-3, that'd be cool. I'm cool with that. 24-3 would be an ideal outcome. Or even 31-10. I'm cool with 31-10. I'm cool with that. So, Mahomes will throw for 300 yards. I actually kind of agree with you there. I have Patrick Mahomes going for 289, so not too far off on that one. We're not too far apart on that one. 2 touchdowns, 289 yards. Yeah, I'm cool with that. So, you would like a shootout? Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, the numbers don't really say it will be, but it could be. Could be. It's I don't know. Kansas City, I feel like they don't really get into shootouts that often. They just don't get into shootouts like that. Outside of that Ravens game, I mean, week 1 they allowed 20, week 2 they allowed 9, week 3 they allowed 20, week 4 we'll find out. Oh, sorry, week 1 they allowed 27. Week 4, yeah. Interesting. Yeah, I think that's gonna sum it up here. Jags upset? I don't know, man. Maybe. Like I said, I just don't love this game. It doesn't give me a good feeling. Seems a little sketchy. But I'm going to let y'all go. I'm going to go upload all this stuff to YouTube, this stream, going over all the MLB and the NFL. If y'all have not joined yet the WAP, come join the WAP. Get access to these models right here. You can play around with them however you want. Also, you'll get all of my plays like these bangers that we hit this weekend, 2,600. And